right at the start.
Initiating contact, taking it right at him. The Kings have to do a better job of getting those quick rebounds when Shaq misses the initial one.
Here is Christie, and the game is tied at 2.
Marv, we have never seen a Laker crowd as nervous and as anxious as this, and I think that they think they need to be here for their team, and the Kings respond. This is going to be a very good game.
And Derek Fisher has to get the shot going, or he will take a seat because he's had difficulty handling Bibby. And Chris Webber has given the Kings a 4-2 lead. In fact, the Lakers had trouble with penetrating backcourt men. We saw that in the San Antonio series with Tony Parker, and they have not been able to deal to this point with Bibby and Jackson. The bad pass picked off by Bibby. Christie with room. Changed his mind, Turkoglu for 3, and the Kings have come out on fire. Hedo Turkoglu, remember, had that 0 for 8 in Game 1, missed his first 3 shots in Game 2, but has picked it up. The Kings have a 7-2 advantage.
Well, you hear that crowd, and they're really trying to get the Lakers to respond to get in the game, and with the exception of the one made by Shaq, they are struggling offensively.
All right, Fisher.
Phil Jackson said the keys for Los Angeles will be rhythm and court spacing, penetration, get to the free throw line, focus defensively on Mike Bibby, and then play as a team.
Well, Bibby able to beat Fisher off the dribble, but threw it back out. Morey with the rebound.
Fisher might want to think about dumping it into Shaq to always get those three-point shots whenever they want.
Rick Fox for 3. And Turkoglu on the rebound.
Well, Phil Jackson has said that they're going to give Mike Bibby some special attention, and they better start right from the get-go because he is beating Derek Fisher off the dribble, and that's why those shots are wide open.
And again, Bibby gets the step. And again, Bibby is able to hit. So the Kings lead 9-4.
The Fishers of the world have been responsible for putting 2 championship rings on Shaquille and Kobe's fingers. Right now, he's got to tighten things up defensively. Unacceptable.
Robert Horry. Here's Kobe Bryant eluding Doug Christie. Went to the crossover and was fouled. Foul committed by Webber. That's the first foul of the night.
Carelessness. Mike Bibby along the baseline. Good ball movement, which has become a trademark of this Sacramento team. You got to force the guy all the way to the basket. As a defender, you only have to guard the perimeter. You can't give up that mid-range shot. Bibby will make that every time.
Here's O'Neal. So that's the second bucket for Shaq. And the Kings have a 9-6 lead. Bibby using the pick from Divac and hits. Mike Bibby on Friday night played 46 minutes, 8 of 14, 2 from downtown, 24 points and 5 assists. And this has been going on throughout the postseason, starting with the series against Robert Horry from Shaquille O'Neal.
Great things happen when you come inside early in the shot clock, allowing Shaq to become a passer. But everybody has to keep moving. Shaq will give it up.
Nice pass, Divac to Webber, and the Kings have come out and hit 6 of their first 7 shots.
Remember, in the second and fourth quarters, that's when the Laker defense was able to have some impact. They're not even able to stop the ball, and that is what's killing them at the offensive end. Good ball movement, good player movement.
O'Neal draws the foul. Shaq so much more active here at the start. Divac picks up his first.
What the Sacramento Kings have done is exploit the fact that the Lakers can't respond to where the ball is. They're moving the ball. They're a great passing team. The result is Shaq is going to have to put a lot on his big back and see if he can't keep him in the game.
The Lakers should look at putting Kobe Bryant on Mike Bibby. Kobe Bryant, a fabulous individual defensive player. Phil Jackson has always loved to go with size over tough and dominating point guards who don't have that height, the way he did in the Utah series when John Stockton was taken out by Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, and Ron Harper.
Well, Bibby's not going to be taken out because he's a very aggressive and very clever player, and now you put Kobe Bryant in harm's way if you do that.
Not only that, Kobe doesn't have his legs. Got to show that he's back in tip-top shape as Divac shows once again the nice jump hook move against O'Neal, and the Kings now lead 15-4. 15-9.
All of the Kings have scored, and that's been their secret. When everybody's scoring, they're rough to beat.
Turkoglu off the steal. O'Neal not able to handle that one-hop pass from Fisher. Turkoglu. Weber with the rebound. Weber on the move is able to score. And the Kings now lead 17-9. They have hit 8 of their first 10.
Fabulous game by Chris Weber. Getting it done, just throwing guys out of the way on the offensive glass from the weak side. And strong finishing.
Here is Bryant, and that shot is still off. He came up short on the first attempt, but a loose ball foul called on Weber, so that's a quick 2 on Chris Weber.
Chris's fouls come on careless gambling on plays that he really had no need or chance of success with.
Beautiful pass by Weber, and D-Box is fouled. But it is a gamble on the part of Rick Adelman to stay with Weber this early in the game.
You don't win championships without gambling, without being the attacker. And right now, it's Vlade Divac going right back at Shaq. All the years, Marv, the team's trying to attack Shaq with goon ball, with the hack to Shaq, with the fouling. Finally, Vlade comes and shows how to be successful, if you can be, against the big guy Shaq.
And O'Neal picks up the foul. His first, the Kings now lead 18-9. Let's go over to Jim Gray. Jim?
Marvin, speaking to Chris Weber yesterday, he said this is the third time that we have played the Lakers. We have now been there before. Our core has been together for 3.5 years, and he said the main thing that has happened is that the Lakers have now become human. They don't look at them anymore as some superheroes, just a bunch of other guys. And he said that's been the biggest difference so far in this series. Mark?
Well, they've come out. Knocked down a second field goal, showing that Friday night, or trying to show that Friday night was not a flop. Once again, draws the foul.
The Kings are moving the ball so well. The Laker defense is reacting, and they're chasing, and that's the reason that Divac is able to come across the middle and get these kinds of opportunities. Shaq's not going to be able to react. Robert Horry, none of those guys can react to the ball movement. They have got to stop the ball if they're going to get control of the Kings.
Press offense, a thing of beauty for Sacramento. Rick Fox double-teaming Mike Bibby in the backcourt. Then everybody giving the ball up early and going and attacking the basket as Vlade Divac's numbers just continue to impress. The foul trouble, yes, have been a problem, but you're always going to be up against it playing against Shaq. You have to contribute on the offensive end, and Vlade has done a magnificent job of doing that.
And perhaps playing his best basketball of the season.
And for a guy who's not noted for playing well against Shaq, and also not noted for his consistency, a big test for Vlade today.
Just under 6 remaining in the first, and the Lakers are down by 10. Robert Horry giving that shot way off from downtown.
And the difference right now is in the attack. The Lakers are a perimeter jump shooting team with the exception of dropping the ball into Shaq, and the Kings are ball movement, sliding to the hoop, getting high percentage shots.
Once again, Bibby able to beat Fisher off the dribble, and the Kings lead 23-11.
Didn't Phil Jackson say penetrate and get to the hoop? That's the basis of our game.
Foul is called on Bibby. Kind of a touch foul on Mike Bibby.
He's saying this is rough, but look at Bibby. Watch him look back and say, "What's my name?"
This guy's name is Mike Bibby. And they better start printing up some shirts there for this guy. This guy is playing fabulous basketball in all respects.
Fisher for 3. Rebounded by Divac, and here comes Christie. The Kings with a 3-point lead. Add to it. Turkoglu able to beat the Lakers down court.
Lakers aren't listening to Phil Jackson, and he wants a timeout. He's got to rectify this immediately. Why isn't
And Devin George has come on, replacing Rick Fox. Brian Shaw, who provided a lift in the fourth quarter the other night, is kicked in. Shaquille O'Neal with his third field goal. He has 7. The Kings now lead 25-13.
12-point game, and Shaq, Kobe's job is to keep them close. At some point, that will take the pressure off of George and Robert Horry, Brian Shaw.
Devin George with a tough assignment against Hito Turkoglu. Did a nice job defensively. Divac and George scrapping forward. George able to hustle it down and draws the foul.
Now, when the Kings get in trouble, it's when they try to become one-on-one players. And Hito Turkoglu trying to go one-on-one, shot. Now he's going to try to come in and come up with the steal, and they don't get control of the ball.
Foul on Turkoglu, so the Kings are over the foul limit.
In that situation, Turkoglu, you're stuck. You got great passing big men, Vlade and Weber. Have them flash to the ball, give it up and execute the give and go, and you get a layup every single time. Don't force up that ill-advised shot.
George played a playoff career high 27 minutes the other night, only 3 for 13, but had 7 rebounds, and Phil Jackson likes his work defensively. That's why he's put him on Turkoglu.
And one of the things about Turkoglu, this is a big opportunity for him. He's got friends all over the world watching him play, and he wants to step up, and the Kings getting a hot streak. He wants to stay part of that.
Another 4.5 remaining in the first. Kings by 11. Weber playing with the 2 fouls, backing his way on Ori, and gets the friendly rim.
George might have tipped that in. It started to come off. George was up there. Might have been the nice guy for Chris Webber.
Lakers have to try to get more fouls on Vlade. Vlade is playing too well.
Well, Shaq is doing his part here at the start. He now has 9, and it's a 27-16 in Sacramento lead.
Now, you got your wish, Kobe Bryant, against Mike Bibby, and they end up with Shaquille O'Neal picking up a foul.
For Shaq, that's his second as he came out trying to help on Bibby.
Chris Webber, who does not have outstanding footwork on delivering that jump ball, gets a very kind roll that time, but Lakers' defense of the pick and roll has left a lot to be desired in this series.
Divac went right at a very careful Shaquille O'Neal, who did not want to be called for a third foul.
Well, Vladdy's showing the left and right hook, and so, you know, he is getting a lot of freedom at the offensive end.
Well, Kobe Bryant did not get the kind roll. Turkoglu protecting against George.
Now, Devin George is very active and aggressive defensively. Attack him and burn him with that enthusiasm.
Mike Bibby continues his remarkable play. 4 for 4 from the field. He has 8 points.
I mean, people don't give him enough credit for being a great shooter, and he is a stick, and he is a very clever player.
Here's Bibby lobbing, but that got away. George on the intercept. Bryant, but the Kings get back. Nice pass by Bryant, but George not able to finish. And Ken Maurer blows the whistle, a foul on the Lakers. It's on George.
Vlade Divac is playing a very solid game again. Coming right at Shaq, attacking him, showing the whole repertoire. Keep Shaq back on his heels.
Who is this guarding Mike Bibby? I think it's Kobe Bryant.
No,
and he's going to treat him just like he's treated everyone else. He backs up and drops a dime on him. When a player has the ability to stop, change direction, he's tough to handle when he's got a jump shot to go with it.
Lakers over the foul limit. Vlade Divac 4 for 4, now 5 for 5 from the foul line. Chris Webber sitting down, and Bobby Jackson played very well over the first 3 games of the series. Has checked in. He was bothered by a sprained left ankle that was suffered in the third quarter the other night. Although he says it's a mild sprain. Jackson said he heard the joint pop when he went down in a collision, but the Kings say he's all right. Well, game 3, the Kings led 32-15. And look at this score right here, 33-16 Sacramento. George, good job getting the rebound, but way off on the follow. And this crowd getting a bit anxious.
Well, they should, because they're not making shots, and that's all it comes down to. You can't beat a team that's making shots and you're not. You talk about your defense and everything else, but the ball is not going in, and the Lakers dig a big hole.
If you're Sacramento, keep pushing on the offensive attack.
Divac tried to keep it alive, but knocked it out of bounds, so the ball back to the Lakers.
Turkoglu is playing the power forward for Sacramento right now. He's getting pushed underneath the basket on his defensive rebound. He has got to establish position and hold out guys like Ori and Devin George and Kobe Bryant. He's got a huge role because Vlade is so preoccupied with Shaq.
O'Neal going at Divac. George, this time, is able to convert.
When you're playing against a great player like Shaq. Your power forward has to be huge on the defensive board. Gobble everything up.
And remember, the Sacramento Kings have done the job as Jackson is tripped up by Ori. Lakers over the limit. Jackson will go to the line. Sacramento has had all the success without their all-star player, Peja Stojakovic, who continues to sit out with that sprained right ankle. Rick Adelman says Peja just cannot run. He was injured back in Game 3 in the series against Dallas.
Mark, he was here early today, Peja, and he's moving a lot better. He's got a little bit of lateral mobility. He's stepping back and then forward. The shot was down there, but still unrealistic to expect Peja to make the kind of move into this competition with the injury that he had.
But this is a team that has lost important players, and it has not affected the way they played. And the perfect example, Chris Webber right at the start of the season.
He missed the first 20 games, and with a new point guard, they still ran away from the pack. That's why I voted for Rick Adelman for Coach of the Year this year in the NBA.
The first we heard of that vote.
Now he did, I must say, he mentioned it early in the season. I hate to vouch. Foul is called on Johnson. Kind of slipped it in a late ad after he had mentioned two other coaches.
He mentioned Phil Jackson where he's cheeks. I never got to the guy that had the best record.
Here's Scott Pollard for Vlade Divac. Another outstanding performance by Divac. 10 points. And he'll take a seat. So Devin George at the line with a minute 35 remaining in this first quarter. Well, you can log on to NBA.com to bid in the Where's Walton auction for exclusive memorabilia from the Love It Live tour with proceeds to benefit reading is fundamental. It's all at NBA.com.
Marv, look up there and you see 35 points, and the Lakers are #1 in field goal percentage for their opponents, and they are getting manhandled.
Not Pollard on the move, and he is fouled. It's a blocking foul on Fox.
A trademark of every Phil Jackson championship team has been defend the pick and roll expertly. Send them away from the pick, send them to the baseline, pin them with size. Bibby is torching the Lakers in the pick and roll from up top, from the side, from everywhere. Pollard runs it right there. Samaki Walker, who hasn't been heard from since the media conference at the start of this series, gets out there way too late and no opportunity to slow down Bibby on that pick and roll.
Samaki played well against his former team, San Antonio, but very quiet in this series.
Especially after barking at the beginning, saying that the Kings have no chance here.
Lakers with 2 fouls apiece on Fox, Morey, and O'Neal. They come up on a minute remaining in the first. 15-point Sacramento lead.
Well, with Shaq out, you can look for Kobe to start trying to make plays for everybody else, but they're just not finishing. You get them a pass right at the rim. George misses a couple. Now Samaki Walker.
It's the Lakers who look psychologically unsettled while the Kings look so poised.
Here is Turkoglu with room. Yes!
Any shot they want. Any shot they want right now.
That's a three-pointer, and Turkoglu has 8.
And the Lakers can do nothing about it because they can't stop the ball at the point of attack.
Run if you're Sacramento. Never stop.
Jackson is blocked. Not blocked. Terrific play by Kobe and get him back. George.
That's just what it buys.
Well, he'll shoot again, this time for 3.
And that's even worse. You got to have discipline when you're playing out here in these championship level games.
Lakers 8 for 25, 30%. Another brutal shooting performance by the Lakers, while the Kings are 14 of 28. Final seconds of the first. Bibby, yes! 2 seconds remaining of the quarter. Bibby 5 for 6, 10 points. Brian Shaw from center court, and you can hear the booze from this crowd. As bad as it was Friday night in Game 3, Lindsey Hunter, who did a nice job off the bench in that fourth quarter on Friday night, has come on. He's defending on Mike Bibby, said he'll take a shot at Bibby. Turco able to work free from George. Here's Jackson with the shot clock running down. Bobby Jackson hits a three, and the Kings continue the amazing shooting. They lead now 43-20.
And they said, you know, against Dallas, that's fine, but you can't do that against the Lakers. And the only guy that's making shots right now is number 34 for the Lakers.
And they only give it to him every fourth possession. I don't know what's going on there, but Turkoglu is playing terrific ball. We watch him every day in practice and the warm-ups. He has got a complete game on full display this afternoon.
Scott Pollard taking it inside on Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq is playing with 2 fouls. Chris Webber picked up 2 early, and he is sitting out right now. Pass deflected, recovered by George. Kevin George with a host of opportunities. Kevin George is now 1 for 7 from the field. Foul is called on Christie.
4 of them have come inside on offensive putbacks. He's been close and missed those opportunities. And, you know, he might be sensing a little bit of pressure, trying to be a little bit more, knowing that this is a huge opportunity for him.
When you're playing against Shaq, as Scott Pollard is right now, just get the rebounds that come your way. Let Turkoglu and Christie get the rest of the rebounds.
O'Neal fires one up. Chris Webber getting set to check back in. Christie putting it on George. O'Neal came over to help. Nice ball movement again by the Kings. And it's Jackson not able to hit from 3-point range. Pollard on the rebound. Jackson gives it up. Christie for 3. Yes!
There is no hesitation. There is no let-up. There is no overjoyous celebration, although the bench is a little bit happy right now. The long way to go in this ballgame. Determined offensive production here.
They better go to Boston, the Lakers, and find out what they did in the fourth quarter. If you're talking about shutting down that celebration, because the Kings are having a good time. The Lakers are not anywhere into the area code, zip code defensively of what the Kings are doing. Look how wide open these shots are. Now, if you can't make shots in your head by 24 points, you need to come over here and sit with me and you.
Bobby Jackson on the foul, and Rick Fox to the line looking for the 3-point play. Yes, the Sacramento bench once again having a very enjoyable time here at Staples. This a Kings team that is 5-0 on the road in this year's postseason. They've won 17 of their last 19 games away from Arco Arena. And these are remarkable numbers. They won twice in Utah, twice in Dallas, Friday night here in LA. Now, they started the season over the first 32 games when they're 29-3 at home. They were only 13-14 on the road, and you can see how they picked it up since then with 17 of their last 19 in the W column.
Surging confidence. Credit Rick Adelman. He has got these guys believing that this is about skilled basketball, not about size and strength, and they're playing every facet of the game.
Hawks not able to get to that loose ball. Turkoglu beating Water off the dribble. And the Kings now lead 48-24. They double up on the Lakers.
They have 48 points with 9.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. They might get 70 in the half.
O'Neal will go to the line. So he'll shoot 2. Fouled by Pollard.
Marvin, it's good to know there's nothing wrong with Bill's math. He is really racking up the numbers, but it's been the play of the Kings. They're the aggressors. They've been forcing the turnovers. Every time they've had a chance to attack the rim, they've done so, and the Lakers are on their heels. So it's going to take the Lakers a real concerted effort at the defensive end. They got to slow this ball down. They got to slow the team down.
Let's check in with Jim Gray. Jim?
Mark, during the last time out, Jimmy Clemens, the Lakers assistant coach, said that our guys are a little bit anxious. He can't quite figure out just exactly why. He said, we're pressing tonight. We just need to relax. He said, the Kings are doing nothing different than what we expected. Simple difference is they're making their shots and we're not. Now, offensively, yesterday, Chris Webber told me that they have studied extensively the tapes of the 1998 series between the Lakers and the Utah Jazz, which the Lakers lost 4-0, and how the pick and roll worked so effectively against Shaquille O'Neal with Karl Malone and John Stockton. He says, we've watched those tapes, we've studied them, we feel that's their weakness. Mark?
All right, Jim, I think it's a little bit more than that, although Shaq has always been a guy who's not reacted that well to the pick and roll, but foul is called.
It's always the mental decisions being made and the wild scramble ball. And with Kobe Bryant not getting anything going, finally out of the timeout, Kobe makes his first basket of the day, but they're going to need a lot more of that, getting the Kings back on their heels.
Well, the good thing for the Lakers is they have a ton of time, 32 minutes left in this ball game, so they got to do it in increments. Find a way to knock 6 off, 7 off at a time, so by the time they get to the fourth quarter, the Kings are now maybe a tentative basketball team.
The Lakers have been very slow getting into any sort of offensive sets. Kobe just overpowers the King defender with that shoulder through the chest.
Laker foul on Lindsey Hunter, their first team foul. And now Hedo Turkoglu takes a seat. Doug Christie comes on. 8:20 remaining in this first half. 48-26 Sacramento. Weber actually lost the handle. Horry on the rebound. So the Lakers now have Hunter and Bryant in the backcourt. Horry gets it down low to O'Neal. His shot, forcing the shot.
Pollard playing solid position defense, allowing Weber to just gobble him up. One thing the Kings have to worry about is being too far ahead too early.
Bibby is 6 of 8 from the field for 12 points. I've never quite heard that philosophy.
Ask the New Jersey Nets.
That's one game, which was miraculous. It never happened before.
We'll have to fight off the crowd all day at this point, as opposed to just one day.
Was able to hit. Let's ask Rick Adelman at halftime if he likes this lead that he has.
You know, that's what Secretariat said. I'm too far ahead. I need to let the other horses get me.
Great teams that I've been a part of. You on the road, you like to be tied at the half.
Our Bibby continues the onslaught. 7 of 9, 14 points.
Or up by 33, one of the two.
O'Neal. Bill, can you take a break and join us sometime in the first quarter?
Bibby has just been able to keep all of the Lakers off balance. Every time you start to go at him, he gives you a little jab step, pulls up and pops. And this is why he is so difficult to cover when the ball is going in. And this is the way he played in the final 2 games against Dallas.
Now 2 for 5 from the line. He has 14 points.
Mike Bibby is now torching Kobe Bryant. That's how good he is, Bibby.
Weber gets the step. And the foul is called. The Lakers looking for an offensive foul. But Chris Weber took the hit from Devin George, who picks up his second.
The reality is that the Lakers are not done, but they have a lot of work to do, and they've got to be able to stop the ball, and that's been their problem here in the first half. 3 Lakers finally come to Chris Weber, but he's going to go to the line. You're down 20. You got to get this lead down to 14, maybe 12 points by the break.
Weber 2 for 4 from the line Friday night, following the 3 of 11 in game 2. Weber said, I remember missing 3 on the back of the rim. 2 were in and out, talking about the 3 of 11. And I remember saying to myself, what's the matter, man? You haven't shot this bad since you were a bad shooter.
Marv, the most amazing stat in this series for me has been the fact that the Kings are taking 10 more free throw attempts per game than Los Angeles. Unheard of during a championship run. Offensive foul, Kobe Bryant.
And for Bryant, that's his first foul.
Doug Christie is doing an outstanding job of staying in front of Kobe Bryant. And Bryant goes both ways, but never really was close enough to where Christie was going to have to be concerned about getting beat with that first step. So Kobe picks up the charge.
I've never seen a team since Phil Jackson took over coach of the Lakers 3 years ago that thought they could beat Los Angeles. Right now, I'm seeing Sacramento believing in themselves that they can get this done.
The Lakers had some low moments this season despite the success with 58 wins. Bibby not able to hit, but looking at big game situations where they're blown out. Friday night in game 3, they've been blown out to this point in the first half, although lots of time remaining. Again, all you have to do is look back to yesterday between the game between the Nets and the Celtics. The Lakers have had some bad moments. They were beaten by Dallas and San Antonio handily during the regular season. Remember, they went through that stretch losing to a bunch of weaker teams, but it was regular season, and they always felt they could recover. Here's Hunter for three. So the Laker poor shooting continues at 13 of 40 from the field.
Phil Jackson said at the beginning, we need rhythm and court spacing. They're getting none of that, and Shaq is blocking shots here.
The pass from Weber, but Shaq was there. Hunter with a blind attempt, and Bibby able to gobble it up. Here's Jackson. Had about 8 minutes to take that shot. And back come the Lakers.
And the Lakers don't want to play a speed game. They don't want the shot to come up quickly. Lindsey Hunter is saying, hey, I'm getting mine up.
The problem for the Lakers is that nobody other than Shaq is playing worth a darn. The bench is 2 for 14. Kobe is 1 for 6. Lindsey Hunter has outscored Kobe Bryant. That's just not going to get it done.
And here's Bryant spinning his way on Twisted. So for Kobe, his second field goal, but he does not seem to be himself. Coming off the food poisoning episode in Sacramento, it's kicked out of bounds by Ori.
Kobe's only 2 scores have come out of timeouts. When Phil sets up plays for him, it's not coming easy for him. The opportunities, the explosion of 5 moving as one that has always been the trademark of Phil Jackson basketball going back to his days with the Knicks under Red Holtzman.
I don't think you worry about Kobe as a player offensively, though, but he's going to strike a match at some point in this game.
Now that's space right there.
Weber showing the touch, so he's 5 for 7, 12 points, and the Kings now lead 56-34. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Fisher, wide open shot, rebounded by Turkoglu. Vlade Divac is back. The Kings going with Divac, Weber, and Turkoglu up front. Christie and Jackson in the backcourt.
And the Lakers want to get control of this game at the defensive end. They want to have these Kings have to take some contested shots, make some bad decisions, and turn the ball over.
Shot clock down 4. Divac not able to hit. Nice box out by Ori.
Vlade's got 1 foul. It's critical in the last 4 of 20. See if he picks up any more.
Kobe Bryant has hit 2 in a row. He had 6 points. He had only 2 at the half here on Friday night, and then came on strong with 16 of his 22 in the fourth quarter. Jackson tried to reverse it. Bryant with the steal. And Kobe with the fourth and the Kings now with an 18-point lead.
Different guard in the ball game for the Kings. Bobby Jackson can't elude people the way that Bibby can and finish over the top, so the Lakers defense tightening up.
Foul against the Lakers. It is a blocking foul on O'Neal, so that is 3 on Shaq.
The crowd is at a fever pitch right now. Bobby Jackson, who played so well up till this game today, has not delivered. Kobe Bryant able to throw it down in transition. And then coming right back, Vlade Divac trying to get on the offensive attack here. Shaq with 3 fouls. And you're looking at a situation of now having to fight off this crowd already so angry and on edge for the rest of this game.
A former Laker, Vlade Divac, who continues his superb play, comes up with point number 11. You see Shaq departing. Samaki Walker is back. A reminder, don't miss NBC's big Memorial Day Monday, starting at 3 Eastern tomorrow. First up, the return of Cheryl Swoops as her Comets will host Lisa Leslie and the Sparks. And at 5 o'clock Eastern time, it's Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So the Sparks and the Comets, Celtics and the Nets, tomorrow at 3 Eastern on NBC. Well, things must be very relaxing for Mike Bibby. Little manicuring being done here as he sits out.
Nothing's worse than playing against the guy with long fingernails.
This crowd very much back into it. 3.5 remaining. First half, Kings with a 57-38 lead. They've led by as many as 24. Bryant, yes! touch. So the Lakers have it down to a 17-point advantage.
You see how much trouble Bobby Jackson is having, and that's what they didn't have, and that's what's allowing the defense of the Lakers to have some impact here in the quarter and slow down the offense. Now, you were concerned about Kobe Bryant, but remember, in that game, in the fourth, Bryant got 16 in the quarter, and this is a guy that can get hot, and I mean blistering hot within a shot or two.
Walker called for the foul. Lakers with 14 fouls. Kings are over the limit. Bryant from the blind side, not able to come up with a steal. Turkoglu with the step and the bucket. Hito Turkoglu has 12 points. Once again, a major contributor, turning it from the slow start in games 1 and 2. And Bryant is fouled by Christie. That's 3 on Doug Christie. Kobe Bryant at the line. He has scored the last 8 points for the Lakers, turning it in the second quarter after the 0 for 4. In the first, he's hit 5 for 6 from the field.
And if you're a Laker fan, what you want to do is see that scoreboard come down to 14, 15 points, somewhere under the 20 that they've been dealing with this first half, so that they'll be ready to come out in the third quarter in the second half.
If you're Sacramento, you say, hey, look, we were on a 70-point pace, but now we've sort of slowed it down with the exception of Turkoglu. Get to 70 points at the half, and you're in a very comfortable position.
Well, Bibby's back in, and this is the guy that they've had difficulty controlling, and he's the one that has made the pace and the game for the Kings.
Shot clock, down to 6. Rebound with a beautiful pass. Rejected by Bryant. Down to 2 on the 24. Turkoglu coming up short. It's a 44-second violation.
What a block shot. That was the perfect give and go up against the shot clock. Bobby Jackson has had 2 layups blocked already. He is too slow on delivering that ball. You got to play like Norm Nixon did, John Stockton, and out quick him to the hoop and get it up there early.
Bryant looking to post over Jackson. Rebound George. Kevin George with a finger roll. Kings 59 and the Lakers 43 as we come up on 2 minutes to go in the half.
Now, Bobby Jackson has had a couple of excellent opportunities and hasn't been able to deliver, so they've got to find someone else to start making shots again.
Turkoglu not able to hit from downtown. Good check from Bryant to get it to Ori. Here comes Fisher. Oh, he changed his mind, but Bryant is there. Kobe. Derek Fisher wanted to give it up and saw he did not have anybody to receive it, so forced the shot. But the Lakers right back into it. It's down to a 14-point lead. Fisher called for the foul. Lakers are over the limit.
Kobe Bryant is coming alive here after a nightmare first quarter. The rebound here gets it right to Robert Horry, and then Turkoglu does a fabulous job of scrambling the brainwaves for Derek Fisher, and this is a bailout here by Kobe Bryant, single-handedly saving his mates.
Now, as good as Mike Bibby has been at the free throw line during the course of the regular season, here in the Western Conference Finals, he is not true to the mark. And he needs to be able to steady down, start knocking down the free throws for the Kings.
Bibby during the regular season, 80% free throw shooter. Here is Bryant. Walker able to hustle it down. Hit a 25 remaining in the half. George off the fade. Rejected by D-Box. Fisher able to rescue. Here's Fisher with a bad decision. And Weber comes away with it. Leads Jackson. The ball back to the Lakers.
Should have given that ball back to Michael Bibby. Let him make the play. This is what happened to them in the second quarter in Game 3. They started to make mistakes for the Lakers defense.
Only the 4th turnover committed by Sacramento. Fisher. Dropped down to 12.
Bill Jackson has got the championship smirk on his face right now.
Down to 50 seconds. And Bibby on a quick release. That's a 3 for Bibby, who has 18 points. Kings 63. And the Lakers 48. Bryant lost the dribble to Jackson. Jackson ahead of the field. And he is fouled by Bryant. For Kobe, that is his second.
But Bobby Jackson on his layups is jumping up instead of out. Mike Bibby, who has quieted this crowd so many times, just comes in with a dagger here. And then the steal by Bobby Jackson, who has not had near the game that he's had coming into today's play. But he's jumping underneath the basket and up rather than from out in the court and out.
Still could be that ankle that is bothering him. Mentioned he had the ice pack wrapped around his left ankle all day yesterday during practice. Down to 38 seconds remaining in this first half. The Sacramento lead is now 16. The Lakers showing some signs in the second quarter, sparked by Kobe Bryant. After the quiet first quarter, Kobe has come on for 13 points, all in the second.
And he is the guy that's responsible for the energized defensive effort, as he has blocked a couple shots as well, and has got this crowd believing second half will be different for their Lakers.
Down to 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Jackson gets picked off. Bryant comes up short on the three-point attack.
Turkoglu's floor game has been perfect. Rebound, loose balls, defense, throw down dunks, perimeter jumpers. This guy is a player, Turkoglu.
12 points, 8 rebounds for Hedo Turkoglu. Just a 2-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Jackson with the rainbow three, rebounded by Ori, taking out of the hands of Weber. Final seconds, Walker shooting for three. Was able to knock it down. Samaki did not attempt a three-pointer during the regular season.
And this crowd is energized. They are fired up. They are ready for more. Mike Bibby does a good job of cutting off Kobe Bryant, thinking that the ball is going his way. But who would have ever thought that Samaki Walker, of all people, would knock down the three?
The Sacramento Kings led by as many as 24. They're up by 20 at the quarter, and the Lakers putting a dent into that lead, now trailing.
Phil Jackson told his team, guys, lay off the three-pointers in the second half. They were 3 for 15. He wants them to show some patience on offense. He wants the ball to go into Shaquille O'Neal quite a bit. He told his team, guys, we need to play with a sense of urgency, not of desperation. We know they're good, but they're getting too many open looks at the basket. Finally, he said, don't put Shaquille O'Neal in a compromising situation on defense where he would have to pick up his 4th or 5th foul early in the third quarter.
Mark? All right, Jim, and these are desperate times for the Lakers. Kobe Bryant just picked up his 3rd foul, 3 apiece on Bryant and O'Neal.
And Kobe trying to get up and tiger the ball and reaching across. He's going to knock Bibby off balance. And but that's the kind of defensive pressure they have to have. Now, Bill, they've taken your advice. Bryant is on it, although he dealt with Bibby in the first half. Didn't do that good a job. Let's see if he's more effective in the second.
Turkoglu had a terrific first half, draws the double. And you see Bryant defending on Bibby. Bibby gets the step. Forced into a tough shot by O'Neal.
Rade out. He matched up Shaq early, and then Weber and Turkoglu, they killed Fox and Ori. Bibby outplayed Kobe. Now what can the Lakers do to change this around? 3-second violation on Shaq, just sprouting roots in the lane.
So Jackson has told his team, we want 2s. We don't need 3s, and we need them with some sort of consistency. So ride the big fella, and it's going to be up to the defense of the Kings to change that.
Well, back in game 2, Phil Jackson said the three-point shooting was pathetic. They were 3 for 19. 3 for 15, as Jim Gray mentioned. In the first half, they got off slowly in that department Friday night, and then picked it up in the 4th quarter. Fox got the start. The person was about to shoot the 3 and then changed his mind and found Fox. So the 24-point lead is now down to 12.
You saw that hook that Phil Jackson had for him, and that jumped up.
They've got to get Vlade involved in the offense down low.
once again, you saw a Laker player about to shoot a three. Robert Horry changed his mind.
Well, I think that they really understand that if they're going to get the game back in their hands in terms of momentum, they've got to get Divac in foul trouble. They got to keep Weber in foul trouble. They've got to slow down Bibby. And Shaq has got to make the free throw.
Steve, going back to game 3 in the first half of today, I have never seen a Phil Jackson team pay less attention to the coach. And this guy has been preaching the team. He's been preaching the attack. He's been preaching ball movement, get it inside. They don't listen to him. Maybe this half, when it's all on the line, they will believe that this guy knows what he's talking about, Phil Jackson.
Shaq now 3 for 7 at the line. They try to double up on Bibby. Shot clock at 8. Christie with a rainbow. That's a 2. Had a foot on the line. So the one-time Laker, Doug Christie, 3 for 5, 7 points. Kings up by 13.
The Kings have to make some shots, and they're going to have to make them under duress.
Kobe Bryant under duress, able to beat the double team. Kobe has 15, 67, 56. No pressure being shown by the Lakers. You saw the pressure bothered the Kings in the fourth quarter the other night.
They're trying to get 2 or 3 people on Bibby, and at that time they give him the ball timeout. But they are really paying attention to Mike Bibby now.
Bibby's got to get it going, and Vlade has got to come and handle the ball because Shaq is not going to pressure his dribble.
Weber gets inside. Chris Weber with 14 points, so the Kings now lead 69-56.
Jim Gray talked about confidence with Mike Bibby at the end of the first half. That confidence, I think, came from Vlade Divac's dunk in Game 2 in the second half. It just inspired the entire King organization that we can get this done.
Bryant played on a switch by Turkoglu. Fisher with a 3 on the shot clock. So Derek Fisher showing some signs. 4 for 9, 9 points, 69-58 Sacramento.
Come back to Weber. Get in the post. Your jump hook is happening today. That's going to get the Lakers back on their heels.
Weber got knocked away by Fisher. Putting his back. 2 on 1. Fisher takes all the way. We'll see who receives credit. But of most significance for the Lakers, it's down to a 9-point lead. Kobe Bryant got credit for the tip. Bibby being slapped. Turkoglu. That's the 4-block shot for Shaquille O'Neal.
Lakers are playing ball right now. They found their game again. On this penetration, you got to be able to lay this off to Vlade or Weber. Shaq is going to keep that ball out of there.
D-box. Christie is on it.
Now, they're in a stretch where they're going to have to weather a storm. As that ball bounced off of Horry and into the stands, the Kings will get it back. And so the Kings are just going to have to realize the Lakers are coming at them with everything right now. Get back to ball movement, player movement. Don't try to dribble the ball too much because the Lakers are now stopping the ball.
For the Kings, this is beginning to take on the look of what took place in the fourth quarter on Friday night, in particular with the Lakers going to the pressure defensively. Weber, nice pass, Divac on the follow.
That's what MVPs do. That's what Chris Weber is paid to be their main man. Draw the 2 guys and then lay it off when that defense comes and collapses on you.
7.5 remaining in the third. Shot clock to 9. O'Neal. Rebounded by Weber.
The Kings have to realize they've got the lead, and all they have to do is continue to move the ball, stay on the attack, let it get a foul on the shot.
It's a headlock foul on the part of Shaquille O'Neal, his 4th personal.
Weber in the low post, draws the double team. Shaq has to come and block. Robert Horry, normally an expert low post defender, unable to slow down Chris Weber down deep. Shaq just comes in and neck tackles Mike Bibby. That has to be a foul.
But you see him get by Kobe, Ori comes, Shaq comes. They know that they got to corral Mike Bibby. They want to corral this attack.
Dan Crawford with the call away from the ball. It's on Fox. That's his third for the Lakers. It is their third team foul. The Kings with only one. Let's go over to Jim Gray. Jim?
Marv, I spoke to Kobe Bryant at halftime. I asked him if he had his legs and the necessary energy to finish this game due to the food poisoning earlier in the week. Told me before the game he'd lost quite a bit of weight. He said, I don't have all of my legs. I don't have my lift. I don't think I have my endurance. I've been much better than I have been throughout the season in this game. He says, I hope I'll be okay by the end of the game. Marv?
Well, we felt that particularly in the first quarter. Then he came on in the second. Nice goal. And the Kings up by 9. So Kobe trying to hang in and play through it. It's a costly bacon cheeseburger and slice of cheesecake in Sacramento earlier in the week. Christie for three. And it's kicked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lakers.
Christie is determined to shoot every time. He hasn't been making them here. He made one in the third early. Phil Jackson trying to set the defense here, but that concept of back cutting and attacking every time will serve the Kings well.
That is number 4 on Bryant. Beautiful cut to the basket by Bibby. He will shoot 2.
Yeah, you know, and Bibby is again showing that, okay, you stop me from dribbling the ball, I'll cut away from it, waited for the contact. And I guess he can go back to his contact with John Stockton and say, you know, I learned a lot about when to go up with this shot and how to draw a foul from John Stockton.
You know what's so great about this guy is he's like Stockton, Steve. His face is a mask. You have no idea what's going on there. With Magic, with Isaiah, you could always see it in their eyes, in their smile, in their face, that passionate play. With Bibby, he is just an assassin exactly like John Stockton.
Can't make a free throw, and that's what he's got to do.
Struggling at the foul line. Kings up by 10. 6:15 remaining in this third quarter. Ori is hit on the move. That's 3 on the rubber.
Every one of Chris Webber's fouls today have been careless, lack of preparation defensively. Grabbing guys on the perimeter who got a step on him because he didn't set himself before his man received the ball, or grabbing Shaq on the shoulder, trying to stop Shaq from getting an offensive rebound.
Fisher shoots the 3. Kept alive by Ori. They try to tie him up. So the Sacramento lead is down to 8. Just under 6 remaining in the third. The backdoor pass anticipated by Ori. Here comes Ori. And it's being waved off. Offensive foul on Robert Ori. So the basket will not count.
Now, Ori on the drive, and Vlade this time was inside. Remember in Sacramento, when he was outside the line, the call went to Robert Ori. Hey, Vlade, play enough games, it all evens out.
And you see the pressure defense once again being shown by the Lakers.
But Vlade is the guy to break this press. He can handle the ball.
Christie set flying. And a foul against the Lakers. It's on Fox. It's number 4 on Fox.
This might be a good time for Adelman to think early about Bobby Jackson. You know, Jackson had a nightmare first half, but he's the kind of player psychologically who can come in here and fight off this crowd, put them back in their seats.
Lakers now over the foul limit. Doug Christie to the line for the first time. 4-piece now on O'Neal, Bryant, and Fox. Well, from the producers of Fear Factor, it's Dog Eat Dog, premiering tomorrow, June 17th. I should say Monday, June 17th, on NBC.
You know, King's gotten a penalty, but they've got to make the free throw as Christie reaches in, and that's going to hurt them. If they can't knock down those free throw opportunities, you're going to see the Laker momentum continue to charge at them because they're now not getting the free
Sacramento up by 9, 5:20 remaining in the third. Bryant putting the move on Turkoglu, trying to draw the foul. Foul, Philly who was fouled.
Now the key for the Lakers is going to be their ability to continue to contain Mike Bibby. Bibby starts to shake loose, starts making shots again. The score is going to go up for the Kings.
And Bibby gets the shot. Rebounded by O'Neal. That's 10 rebounds for Shaq. The Lakers trying to tie the series at 2. Sacramento looking to go up 3-1. Game 5 at Arco Arena on Tuesday night right here on NBC.
Now Shaq is asking for it.
Bryant with the shot clock running down. O'Neal on the rebound. Both and Weber hit the deck. Debots in the discussion with the official. Ken Bauer could not believe that it was not a charging foul on O'Neal. It's down to a 7-point Sacramento lead. Weber back in. Draws the triple team. Here's Jackson for 3. Bobby Jackson.
Bibby should have shot. Jackson, his offensive game is not there.
Bryant putting the move on Bibby. Rebounded by Debots. Bryant was looking for a foul. Nice pass. Not able to handle it. And the ball back to Los Angeles.
All of the breaks that the Kings were able to get and make in the first half, they are not now. This is a 3-on-1 break, and Fisher makes a great save. So the Laker defense is starting to believe that they can contain the passing of the ball movement of the Kings.
It's too casual for Sacramento.
Bryant draws the double. Fisher for 3.
You better get new instructions again.
Jackson lost it. Fisher again. Not able to hit from downtown. Good play by Fox to back tap. Here's Bryant. Weber came over to help. But Kobe Bryant has walked the Lakers within 5, and a technical foul has been called on Sacramento. It's on Debots.
The Kings are back on their heels. This is where they need the competitive response from Chris Weber. This is where he's got to pull the guys together. They're losing their composure out here, the Kings, and Weber's got to call for that ball and deliver.
Kobe Bryant has been off from the line throughout the postseason.
Now Kobe is just going to bury his way in and just elevate, get that shot away. But the Jackson edict was get the twos, and then the technical foul by Vlade Divac in a very tough third quarter for them.
It's a good no call on Kobe Bryant's attack and initiation of the offense. Sacramento kind of has to stop looking at the referees and start playing some offensive basketball.
Brian Shaw has come on to provide a rest for Kobe Bryant, and Chris Weber with a strong drive. He now has 16, so the Kings lead 75-68. Kings have led by as many as 24, led by 20 after 1. O'Neal to the drop step.
And they knew that the Lakers were going to make a run. So now they just got to toughen up right now in the final 2:30, see if they can get their lead back to double figures.
Turkoglu on the pull-up. Hedo Turkoglu has had another outstanding game. 14 points, 10 rebounds.
And the difference between Turkoglu and Stojakovic is that Turkoglu likes contact, likes the rest of the game. Shaq overpowering inside.
Brian Shaw able to get the ball to Shaquille O'Neal, who was very deep and at that point on the floor, unstoppable.
Phil Jackson has come early with Brian Shaw, knowing the desperate nature of this situation here. And Bibby and the Kings are no longer running the ball up the court. They're having to walk it up, being turned in the backcourt, and that is not a good sign for Sacramento's attack.
Brian Shaw played very well Friday night in Game 3. In particular, in that fourth quarter drive. Here's Debots. O'Neal not able to get back.
All they have to do is make the adjustment to what they're doing to Mike Bibby. That time they did, and Vladdy gets it easy too. So there are still places for them to get scores if they'll make that pass and don't stand around.
9-point Sacramento lead. Shaw got it knocked away. Shaw looking for a foul. Minute and a half remaining in the third, and the Kings in possession have a 9-point lead. Turkler. Weber with the shot. Nice punch shot by O'Neal.
Weber had made two terrific plays with the dunk and then the great rebound on defense. That's okay. He needs the ball in his hands because this franchise, that's their guy.
Horry to the reverse. And he is fouled.
And if you're looking from the Kings' perspective, you got to remember everything that the Lakers do has to be perfect. They're the ones that have to catch up. Weber picks up his fourth personal foul, and they're going to have to make an adjustment there. This is going to be a brutal fourth quarter in terms of attrition for key players.
Sabaki Walker comes on. Shaquille O'Neal sits down. One of those unusual scenarios for Phil Jackson. He has both Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal on the bench, but for a short time, only 1 minute left in the third.
But that last play between Shaq and Horry was a good sign because there's been some friction between these two guys in the third quarter here. Robert Horry not happy with the way Shaq is coming to the ball. Shaq not pleased with the way that Horry is delivering it to him. And so that little interchange there brought back some of the team chemistry that the Lakers are going to need to get back into this game and this series.
So Weber takes a seat, departing with the fourth foul. Horry is 78% free throw shooting. Sacramento up by 8. Final minute of play in the third.
Bibby has only scored one point here in the third quarter, so they've done a good job of making the Kings go someplace else for points. That foul.
Sabaki Walker very aggressive and going up against Lonnie Divac. Picks up a foul with the Lakers over the limit. Divac will go to the line where he's hit 7 of 8.
Identifying where the mismatch is. The Kings have really grown in this area. Come back, force it through Vlade until Shaq comes back into the game.
Well, coming to NBC in 2 weeks, the final leg of the Visa Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes. Last weekend, Bob Baffert's War Emblem proved that a Derby win was no fluke as he rocked his way to victory in the Preakness. And now War Emblem 1 win away from winning the first Triple Crown in almost a quarter of a century. The Belmont Stakes coming to NBC in 2 weeks. That'll be Saturday, June 8th.
Now, this group that the Lakers have out there, they have to run the offense to get scores. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble. Bibby.
What a crossover.
Now Bibby lost it.
He's being hammered, manhandled by Fisher and getting no call coming across the arm.
So the Lakers can hold for a final shot of this third quarter. And now a foul is called. So Sacramento over the limit. Lawrence Funderburk, who had just checked in, is called for the foul. And you wonder, why would you commit a foul in this situation?
What is he thinking? Every possession so critical, the season on the line, the chance to move forward for the first time as the Sacramento Kings to the championship, and you're coming up tripping him like that.
That was incidental. I mean, if you're going to call that, you got to call Derek Fisher jumping on Mike Bibby's back.
The guy's running away from the hoop like Horry was to the dead corner. Let him go.
Lawrence Funderburk playing in his fourth game of the postseason. Rick Adelman shorthanded with Peja Stojakovic still sidelined with the sprained ankle. Now Derek Fisher and Lindsey Hunter in the backcourt. Brian Shaw sits down. Down to 15 seconds remaining in the third. They're chanting Horry as he looks to cut it to a 7-point Sacramento lead. So now the Kings will look to hold for a final shot with Waller. Jackson, played by Fisher. We're down to 5 seconds. Using the pick for Divac. Jackson for 3. Bobby Jackson continues to struggle. Just 1 of 10 from the Lakers outscored the Kings 22-15 in the third quarter. Fourth quarter underway. Here's Devin George. 7-point lead for Sacramento.
Now, the Kings got to get back to moving the ball quicker. They're holding it longer than they held it in that good first half of play, and that's allowing the Lakers defense to react better.
Divac drawing the double, finds Terminator. And the rebound snatched by Wall, swinging the elbows in the face of Bobby Jackson. Bryant now being played by Jackson.
I think from the body language of the Lakers, they think they have a chance now. Now they're going to try to ride Shaq and Kobe down the stretch, and it's up to the Kings to really put some more doubt in their mind that they can find an answer to win the game.
How long does Adelman leave Weber on the bench?
Here's Bibby for Divac. And last touch. Let's say last touch by the Lakers.
Maybe Bibby should have put that one up. It was a great play as he lays this off to Vlade Divac. Oh,
That's a foul. I'm sorry. If you don't call that foul, why have a rule book?
well, I'm glad to see that there are some fouls out there.
Here's Divac with a rare perimeter shot. Vlade Divac has 18 points. He's 5 for 8 from the field. He's opened up an 82-73 lead. O'Neal swinging his way inside, and he is fouled. And Shaq, as always at the offensive end, has to be careful not to pick up an offensive foul. He's playing with 4. Divac collects his third.
But terrific footwork by Shaq, stepping up the lane. Then you see him go around. If Shaq gets in trouble, he keeps his feet inside of the defensive stance of his opponent. That time, Vlade Divac, outstanding execution of the up and under move.
Now Shaq is 4 of 8 at the line. He's 61% from the foul line in the postseason, which is a slight improvement from the way he shot during the regular season. So Shaquille O'Neal connects on both free throws. The Kings now lead by 7. Now Bryant back defending on Jackson. Hunter going against Bibby. Divac, beautifully done.
Vlade is showing how to play against a guy who's bigger, stronger, can jump higher, and has the bigger muscles. This is a thing of beauty out here.
Shaq came over to double team on that play, and he still squeezed it off.
With his second field goal, 84-77, Sacramento. 2 minutes gone by in the 4. Oh, beautiful pass. Jackson from Bibby.
Phil Jackson beside himself. Nobody can keep Mike Bibby in front. Looked as if they had him under control and the Kings not running much, but Bibby able to make it happen.
Nice pass from O'Neal. George. And a beautiful back pass from Hunter.
What these teams are finding out, at least the Lakers, is that in a game that you're going to win, you have to score more 2s than 3.
Nice touch by the Lakers. Bobby Jackson out of control. Very fortunate that it was deflected out by the Lakers.
Beautiful backdoor cut by Lindsey Hunter, who just lays it off. And for the first time in this series, Mark, we have both teams playing well at the same time.
Substitutions for Sacramento. Doug Christie has come on along with Chris Webber, Scott Pollard. Bibby for 3. Rebounded by O'Neal.
Shaq is using all of that size and really taking up a lot of space this afternoon.
Bryant off the screen. Saved by Webber, but ends up in the hands of George. He's fouled by Jackson. foul committed by the Kings.
The loose balls are going to the Lakers right now. They're the ones who are anticipating the action ahead of the Sacramento Kings, who seem to be trying to hold off and playing not to lose rather than playing aggressively to win.
O'Neal over Pollard. Rebound George, who's done a terrific job in the second half. Here's Hunter for three. Jackson comes away with it, and the Lakers continue to struggle from downtown. 3 for 21 from three-point land. Phil Jackson was able to kind of cool it down in the second half after the 3 for 15 in the first half. Jackson off the lead. Jackson. Looks like O'Neal got a piece of it. Here comes Bryant. Kings get back. Hesitated to shoot the three. George is on. Once again, the Lakers on another loose ball. No foul call. You can hear the reaction from the crowd. Here's Bryant. And the Lakers still in possession. They have a new shot clock. Hunter for three. Ori on the loose ball. What a sequence for the Lakers.
The Lakers have been able to get back in because they're playing a disciplined game combined with a sense of desperation, realizing that there's no time to lose whatsoever. Phil Jackson, his poise, his composure, his quiet leadership by example has breathed some life back into this seemingly dead squad. And now the Lakers right there. What will be the response from Sacramento?
It is down to a 6-point Sacramento lead. Robert Ory has been instrumental in this comeback. 9 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists for Ory. It's a 5-point game with lots of time remaining. 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth.
I think the guy that has to be aggressive offensively is Bibby. And now you see their cuts are coming. They're not cutting to the basket. The ball's going inside, but people are standing. Weber, big hoop.
18 for Chris Weber. 88-81 Sacramento. Here's Bryant drawing the double. Lindsey Hunter is open. Pass on the three this time. And comes up short on the two-point attempt.
And he aimed that shot. You know, he wanted to, he was free about thinking about the three, and then he said, coach said 2, and he aimed the shot.
Hesitation.
Why is Vlade Divac on the bench? What did he do wrong?
Well, they're giving him a breather. You know they got the stretch run to make here, and they want to have Vlade out on the floor to try to finish this game off. Pollard usually comes in to give Shaq a different look.
For three. To bring the Lakers within 4. Weber. Well, Chris Weber hit that critical jump shot in the fourth quarter on Friday night to stop the 14-0 run by the Lakers. That could be a big one right there. Bryant to the crossover. Here is Kobe.
Sacramento's not going to win this game unless somebody gets into a rebounding zone. Weber and Turkoglu are the prime candidates here.
Turkoglu got the step. Beautiful move by Hedo Turkoglu, who has 16 points, and that Lakers down by only 6 after trailing by as many as 24 with 5.5 remaining in the fourth. Shot clock to 6. Devin George involved in miscommunication with his teammates and threw it away. So the ball goes back to Sacramento.
Vlade Divac sitting a long time here.
I still think the Kings need to hear from this guy, number 10 at the offensive end. He's only scored 1 point after dropping 18 in that first half.
Weber played by Ory. Christie posting. Offensive foul. That is number 5 on Doug Christie, and now Vlade Divac getting set to check back in.
Well, Derek Fisher is one of the great all-time floppers, and he does a great job of drawing the foul on this one, and it goes against Christie and the Kings, but the ball is stopping. Remember how quickly the ball was moving? The Lakers were just chasing in the first 24 minutes. Now they've contained the Kings.
If you're the Lakers, come right away to Shaq. Vlade's been sitting for a long time. He's stiff. Get the ball against Vlade. Try to pick up that next foul.
He'll try to get position. Ori hit a three a moment ago. He'll get it to Shaq. He thought he was fouled. Instead, the Kings come up with the ball.
I know the Kings are saying we got to get a break at some point. All our guys are getting nicked up with fouls.
Oh, Fisher cutting off the baseline. On Bibby, still gets the shot off and hits. A quick release by Mike Bibby, who now has 21 on 9 of 14 from the field. And the Kings back to an 8-point lead. Bryant straight. Bibby on the loose ball. Bryant takes it back. Trying to get it to O'Neal. And it will be Sacramento back in possession.
Sacramento so careless with the ball when they finally do dig it out on the defensive end.
Well, Bryant had fallen on Bibby's leg, so he couldn't get away, and he was trying to dribble out of it, and Kobe turned around and got the steal and saw Shaq and just couldn't get him the ball.
Now Kobe's up on Bibby. Give the ball to Vlade. There's going to be no pressure on Vlade to bring it up.
Kobe Bryant playing with the 4 fouls, as is Shaquille O'Neal, as is Chris Webber. We come up on 4 minutes remaining of the fourth, and a foul is called on George.
Bibby is doing everything that he can to help his team get game 3 here. He's going to come up and get this ball from the rear and make the block. Makes a clean block, surprised him, and now Derek Fisher's all over him, wearing him like a glove, but not quite tight enough.
We talked about Bibby and Stockton earlier. Bibby looks to shoot much more aggressively and earlier in the shot clock in game than Stockton ever did.
Rick Fox has come on for Nevin George. Webber rebounded by O'Neal with just under 4 remaining in the fourth. His time running out on the Lakers, and the Kings hold on. They move in front 3 games to 1. Lakers try to tie it at 2. O'Neal will head back to the line. That's team foul number 4 on the Kings. And Shaq was fouled in the act. Lakers with only 1 team foul as Vlade Divac commits his 4th.
Well, they're going bread and butter time. Kobe and Shaq coming down the stretch. Shaq gets himself set. Webber's coming over. They're all trying to make Shaq have to make the shot, and if not, get to the line.
O'Neal 5 for 9 from the line. He did hit his last 2.
For the Lakers on the offensive set, it's not an easy post-entry rhythm for them right now. Kobe's having to come to a dead stop and then lob it in there. Where's the play where they flow up with one and then zip it in and guys moving off them?
Once again, Shaq gets both. So the Kings lead by 6. 3:35 to go in the fourth. Game 4 of the Western Conference Final Series. Ori nearly picked it off. Shot clock down to 5.
See how the Kings are standing now, and that hurts them.
There's the 3. Divac very quick to the ball. Beat O'Neal.
Now, Vlade is saying, no, calm down. Let me handle it. Let's see what he's going to try to come up with. 17 on the clock. Looks like he wants to go one-on-one against Shaq.
Sacramento standing up.
Oh, Bryant knocks it away and carries out of bounds. It's called Laker ball.
All the great scoring toward the Lakers, but Vlade should have given that ball up. You make a decision within 1, 2, 3 and go with it, and they're standing around, and that's allowing the Lakers to reach and get control of the ball.
Just under 3 remaining in the fourth. Lakers down by 6. Bryant on a pull-up. Yes. That's the 4th game. This is the closest the Lakers have been since the opening minutes.
Time for another response from Chris Webber. Make something happen. You're the man.
Well, Ori digging in on Webber. Shot clock to 5. Webber goes behind the back to Bibby, gets it off. Air ball. 2:20 to go on the floor.
Sacramento desperately needs a good offensive set here. Everything is going against them. They're going to take a timeout and regroup here. The Sacramento Kings have not lost a road playoff game this year. Their offense, though, has disappeared. Only 14 fourth-quarter points to go on top of 15 in the third.
After 5-0 on the road in the playoffs, they won 17 of the last 19 on the road overall, which is just phenomenal. Turkoglu over Bryant. A huge shot by Guido Turkoglu. And the Kings now lead 96-90.
And it came through Chris Webber. Send him down low. Force the double team. That's going to give you wide open spot-up shots.
A minute 40 remaining in the fourth. Horry for three. The clutch shot from downtown. It's a three-point game with a minute and a half remaining in the fourth.
Now the Kings got to get back to passing that ball. Don't let the Lakers defense catch up with you, grab you, and hold you. And when you make a decision, go strong to the hoop. Webber again.
Out of four on the shot clock. So Sacramento with first Turkoglu and then Divac. And the Kings now lead 98-93. Robert Horry has scored 8 points in this fourth quarter. Yes. Coming up on a minute remaining in the fourth. Bryant on a crossover. 98-95. The Kings by 3. Just under 1 minute remaining in the fourth. Now the Lakers do have fouls to give. Sacramento with 14 fouls. The Kings looking to go up 3 games to 1. Lakers trying to tie the series at 2. Christie for 3. Rebounded by O'Neal. And the Lakers very much alive with 35 seconds remaining in the fourth, down by 3. They do not need a 3 at this point. O'Neal held by Divac. And that puts the Kings over the limit, so Shaq will shoot 2, and Divac picks up number 5.
Good job by Vlade Divac there. Make him get it at the line here. Robert Horry, the beautiful ball movement. How many times have we seen these daggers just take the life out of the opponent? He looks and talks some trash to the bench. Kobe Bryant with a literally impossible shot. I mean, who has ever made a shot like that?
Shaq is 5 for 6 at the line in the second half. And overall, he is now 8 for 12, so he's hitting the free throws down the stretch.
If Shaq makes this free throw and they're down 1, I think that the Lakers need to foul. I don't think there's enough differential on the time clock here.
Derek Fisher sits down. Lindsey Hunter checks in. We have 26 and 9/10 of a second remaining in the fourth quarter.
If you're the Kings, you want to get to the other floor before the Laker defense can set up.
Shaq continues to hit his free throws. It's down a 1-point lead. Christie, fouled by Bryant. And a foul. They had a foul to give. So that's number 5.
2-second differential between game and clock. 22.2 left in the game and 20 seconds left on the shot clock. If you're the Kings, you get that ball in and you use every single second on your shot clock before you put the ball in the air.
Shaquille O'Neal is with his last 6 free throws to cut it to a 1-point lead. And they'll try to use this clock.
I think the Lakers have to foul here.
And they do. Won't count. Rick Fox called for the foul.
The Kings had the right strategy. Make them come to you. Otherwise, they don't have enough time to set up a play.
And it puts the Lakers over the limit. Vlade Divac is 8 of 10 from the line. They're down to 11 seconds remaining in the fourth. Divac going into the season only a 62% free throw shooter. shots, hits 1 of 2, and the Lakers call for time. Battle back in '89. The Lakers' first lead since the opening minutes when it was 2-0. Lakers have scored the first basket and they score the last basket of the night. A heartbreaking defeat for the Sacramento Kings.